right. Hopefully my AirPods will hold up. Let's talk about 3 ways to approach sex after celibacy. Celibacy, abstinence, whichever one you're calling it. If you don't know who I am, my name is Devi Maisha, and I work with Black women, helping them to release sexual shame, especially if they've not been in relationships for a while, gotten divorced, getting back into it, and the sex game has changed. For those of us in our 40s and 50s, it might not be the same. Maybe you got married young and it just wasn't an issue, and maybe now you find yourself in Cougarville and you're not sure what to do, or you're having some sexual urges and you're like, fuck the celibacy, the kitty needs to be fed. I got you. All of it, right? There's no judgment here. But let's talk about how you can handle that transition from having had no sex to negotiating what you want your sex life to look like. And this is really important for Gen X women, because we didn't grow up in an era where we negotiated our sex lives. We didn't grow up in an era where we talked about what we wanted, needed, desired. If you were one of those women early on, ooh, kudos to you. I wish I was such a people pleaser, and I really thought that the boys, the men, as I transitioned from girl to woman, that they knew all of what they were doing, and I was just kind of along for the ride. It never really occurred to me that I had such a say over my body until decades later. So let me help you out with it a little bit. 3 ways to handle your sex life. The first is really important, and that's knowing what brings you pleasure. You cannot negotiate your sex life if you're coming back into it after a period of celibacy if you don't know what you want, if you don't know what you like, if you don't, I'm trying to make sure the wind isn't so much in my ears, if you don't know what you need. You cannot do anything if you don't know what brings your body pleasure. So the first thing that needs to happen is you need to experiment with yourself. Understand your likes, dislikes. Understand the pressure points. Now, this may change with someone, right? So a soft touch on you might be exciting, but when someone else touches you softly, you might not like it. This is all great feedback. The first thing when you're negotiating sex after being celibate for a while is knowing what you like, and that means exploring your own body. The second is is knowing your boundaries. Now that you know what it is that you like, don't like, starting to have an idea of your boundaries. Now, this will change over time. You may say, I want to be paddled, and you may discover you don't like it, and now that's a hard no. You may say, I don't want to be paddled, and you try it one time and go, oh yes, let's include that. So you want to have your hard boundaries. Some of y'all like anal sex, hard boundary, right? Hard boundary. Don't need to try it, don't need to figure it out, don't need to know if you like it or not. It's just an all around no. Some of you might be like, I mean, maybe with the right person. So understand what you like, what you don't like. And again, this can shift over time. The third piece is to be able to talk about it. You got to be able to say it to him, her, whomever you're dating. When you know what brings your body pleasure, when you understand what your boundaries are, you now have information you can bring to your lover, so you all can create a comprehensive sex life that includes your pleasure. Because I tell you that the majority, I'm going to speak from a heterosexual point of view, generally men get so much pleasure out of watching your pleasure, out of pleasing you, out of seeing you get excited. But in order for that to happen, you need to know what it is that excites you. So if you find yourself coming out of celibacy, you're just starting to date, or it's after the divorce and you're like, fuck this, I want to get back on a horse. whatever it is, you're finding yourself in a period where you've had no sex, or you've never been really sure about how to discuss this with a lover. Know your body, understand your boundaries, and really have language and be able to discuss all of the above with your lover. And if you find that you need some support with that, some assistance with that, because it could be scary if you've never done it before, if you just don't feel like you have the words for it, or if you're not even sure where to begin exploring your body, DM me and I will send you the link so we can book a call. Let's talk about what it would look like for you to have that language. Let's talk about what it would feel like for you to be able to have those types of conversations. Let's talk about what it would feel like for you to have the sex life that you desire and deserve. So book the call with me. Let's have a conversation. You can DM me for the link. And remember, the revolution will not be televised because it sits between your thighs. Welcome to the Orgasmic Revolution. I'll see you next time.